And you seem pretty familiar with him because he doesn't really hide his association with this real wild plot that involves, drinking the blood of children and things like that.
No, he doesn't hide it at all. And you have a lot of people who are in this world of QAnon who say, oh, they don't know what that is. They've never heard of it. Jim Caviezel, he is openly embracing it. He's openly using its catchphrases and its concepts. He's speaking at QAnon conventions. And this film is being marketed to either specific QAnon believers or to people who believe all of the same tenets as QAnon.
And The Sound of Freedom does focus on a real issue of sex trafficking. But that theme, it's sort of like that kernel of truth that feeds the QAnon conspiracy theory. Tell us how those two things work together.
Sure. And the most durable and the most believable conspiracy theories are not entirely false. There's something in them that is true and the rest of it is false. But the believers point to the one true thing and they say, oh, you don't believe that this particular thing is true. In terms of child trafficking, we know trafficking is real. We know it has real victims. No one is denying that. But these films are created out of moral panics.
When he's talking about how conspiracy theories are spread with one kernel of truth and the rest is a lie, he is projecting there. Like when Karine Jean-Pierre says that this president has taken unprecedented action to secure the border, we kind of have to ask which border, our border or the border of Ukraine. And when they say that they're not teaching CRT in schools, are they talking about courses that are specifically labeled CRT, which are not happening in elementary and in high schools or middle schools, but there are courses that infuse and impose different CRT ideologies within them, whether it be math or spelling or writing. So yeah, there's a kernel of truth in saying that no, CRT is not being taught in school, but that's because the courses aren't specifically labeled that, but that doesn't mean that the ideas of CRT are not being taught in school. So let's go on.
They're created out of bogus statistics. They're created out of fear.
So what are the statistics? If these are bogus, if what Tim Ballard is saying is bogus and it's not true, then you need to come out and say, these are the actual statistics and this is how they're being represented.
Out of fear. And with something like Sound of Freedom, it specifically is looking at QAnon concepts of these child trafficking rings that are run by the high-level elites, and only people like Tim Ballard and only people like Jim Caviezel, and by extension, only people like the ticket buyer can help bring these trafficking rings down. So there's a very participatory element. You're not just going to see a movie, you're just killing 2 hours on a hot day. You are helping bring down these pedophile rings and save children.
No, nobody is saying that buying a movie ticket is going to bring down child trafficking rings. We are saying, as Mel Gibson just said, is that spreading awareness is going to be a key component to actually bringing attention to this and driving people to action. So and then there was an article written by Rolling Stone that basically trashed the movie and mocked the viewers and downplayed the scale of child trafficking. So it's not really surprising that the left would react in this way when they will take their babies to playdates with men in bondage gear as a form of entertainment for them. So this, we've got these grown men with their whatever it is that they're wearing, and you can see the little babies in the background over here, little toddler on the floor. Yep. So that's apparently family-friendly entertainment for the left right there. We've got parents taking their kids to parades with naked adults, taking them to drag shows where, we've got a drag queen here shaking their prosthetic boobs in a box and simulating sex acts on stage. Yes, there were children in the audience because there are clips of these particular drag queens talking to the kids in the audience. And then, of course, we can't forget the fact that they are signing their teens up for surgeries to mutilate their own anatomy. So this is a 13-year-old right here. So again, not surprised that would be the reaction from the left when this is the stuff that they support. And let's not forget that these are also the people that advocated for the abolishment of ICE, and Tim Ballard talks a lot about ICE and the massive role that ICE plays in bringing down child predators and busting up trafficking rings. He says it's absolutely insane to want to abolish that organization when they are the main organization that saves kids from this horrific situation. And the left has also advocated to defund the police, which also means less funding for local investigations and assisting ICE in catching these predators. So again, just collectively, not surprised that they would try to minimize something like child trafficking when literally everything that they're doing feeds into that industry.